Hello guys, I'm on the channel. Today we're going to do my MCU Hero Tierlist. I'm refilming this one because last time a lot of interruptions and it frustrated me. So, not much to say, but it's going to be a while, so let's get into it. Alright, so I think we can just get right into this one. Here are all the tiers, and let's get right into it. So we got Doctor Strange right here at first, and he's going right in the awesome tier. I love this guy. He's one of the best heroes in the MCU. They gave him a character arc in the first Doctor Strange and in Multiverse where he's learned to not be so arrogant and be in control of everything, and I think that works very well. So this character, I've always loved him right from the beginning. Maybe in the first one, sure, maybe he's not the best, but he does get better in the MCU as time goes on, and I think in the end, I think he's an awesome character. Next one is going to be Nakia. I'm going to go in the, I put in the okay tier. I wish she was in Infinity War, maybe. I think she's heroic. I think she is kind of some good personality in Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I like her role in the MCU, but she doesn't really do that much in actuality, so I can't really put her that much higher. Gamora, I think, going to go right in the A-, great tier. I think this character is great, really improved from Infinity War, and I kind of like what they're going to do with her, and I hope that they sort of bring her back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I really hope they do, because I'll be interested to see what they do with this character there. Not the biggest, not the most flashy personality, but I think for what she is, I think she is a good character. Next one, we got Natalie Portman, or Jane Foster from the Thor films. And this is a character that, okay, whatever. But I think Thor Love and Thunder, I like what they did with her, so that I think alone moves her up to the okay tier. She's not a great character, never will be, but, well, she's fine. Now we have Matt Murdock, Daredevil from She-Hulk, specifically just judging by She-Hulk, not the show itself. But I think in She-Hulk, he's pretty good. I like his role. I think he's definitely the best part of the show, without a doubt. But not much more. I'm going to move this to my lap because this is kind of frustrating. So, yeah, without a doubt, I think not one of the best characters. Next one's going to be Wong. I think Wong has gotten pumped up to a bit of a more official role in the MCU, a bit more of a prominent one, especially when you get to Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home, No Way Home and Multiverse. So, I think I like this character, and now he's like this Sorcerer Supreme, so they could do a lot with him. Next one's going to be Cersei. I don't really care for this one. She's one of the weaker Eternals, honestly. Doesn't have much of a personality. I like her little character arc, but just kind of a boring character, so that one kind of puts her there. May Parker, Marisa Tomei. I'm going to put her in the good tier. I like how she sort of boosts up Peter's character arc there. And overall, I think she's a well-done hero. I mean, she's not really that heroic, but she does some heroic things here and there, and therefore a good tier. Thor, I want to put him in the awesome tier, but I just can't because he's written way too inconsistently, and Thor Love and Thunder literally made him a parody of himself, which is just frustrating. But if I just exclude that, I think he actually is a really good character. He's a lot of fun. Chris Hemsworth's great in the role no matter what. So overall, good character or great character, but they messed him up in some things. Gilgamesh, I think one of the better Eternals for sure. And I put in the okay tier. He doesn't have as much screen time as some of the other ones, but for what they gave him, I think he was used pretty well. Definitely one of the better ones. And yeah. Now we have Yelena going right in the great tier. I like this character right from the beginning. I was right from when we saw her in Black Widow. I don't think I think she's going to get better. I don't love her presence in Hawkeye, but I like the character, so it's perfectly fine. And I'm excited to see what they do with her in the rest of the MCU. Nick Fury, I think he's going to go right in the great tier. I think Samuel L. Jackson's great in this role. Definitely one of his better roles in these days. But I mean, he's not the best character ever, and he's not the most flashy. But I think when he's used, he's always interesting because there's some good to him, some bad to him. There's always something going on with this character, and that's what I like. Mantis. Before the holiday special, I would have put him probably in this tier, but I'm going to put her in the okay tier because, honestly, I think they gave her a pretty good role where she's the one that actually helps get Kevin Bacon to Star-Lord, which I kind of like that. So, not an amazing character, I think, and I wish they gave her maybe a bit more to do, but overall, I think a pretty well-handled one, especially when you get to the holiday special. I think they're going to do a lot with her in Volume 3. Next one is going to be Tony Stark. You know where he's going in the S tier. Need I say more? I mean, amazing character. He's really what kind of drives the MCU forward right from the beginning. And just so well done. I love his character arc right from the get-go in the first Iron Man. And continues to be one of the best characters, especially as you get to Endgame and his sacrifice. Just such an amazing character. I absolutely love this guy. Robert Downey Jr. plays his character to perfection. And Probably my favorite hero in the MCU. Hulk going right in the awesome tier. This is a very interesting character because you see his personalities between Bruce Banner and the Hulk, and I think Ed Norton did a good job and Mark Ruffalo, so I like that quite a bit. And they gave him the Hulk a lot to do, specifically in like the Avengers, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War. Endgame, I didn't love it. I didn't love Professor Hulk, but I've started getting used to it, and now I don't really mind it as much as I used to. So I love this character. Next one is going to be Phil Coulson, the guy that kind of brought everything together. And I'm going to put him in the okay tier. I think, I forget the actor's name, but he does a good job, I guess. And because he's kind of the one that brought everything together, I kind of like it because of that. Black Widow. Talk about like character that kind of add layers on in each movie and just make her a much more interesting character compared to what maybe she could have been. And I think by the time you get to like Civil War, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and even Endgame, I think she becomes like one of the best characters. At first she's like, alright, Age and they can fight, but then Age of Ultron adds a layer, then yeah, you know what I mean. And then her movie, I wish they gave her more of a character arc, but it's fine. They gave us some needed information. Next one, we got Scott Lang, Ant-Man. I didn't mean to put all of these ones in the awesome tier next to each other on purpose. That was on me, but whatever. I quite like Scott Lang. Paul Rudd's amazing in this role, and just such a fun character, such a lighthearted one without being like a immediate like comedic relief, without actually needing to do that. But he's just such a fun character, and he's a character I love to go on his adventures on. So yeah, I like this guy. War Machine. I want to put him in the good tier, but they haven't given him enough to do yet. He's just kind of used as Tony's sidekick and best friend or friend, and not much more than that. Maybe his show will give him a lot more to do, hopefully, assuming they don't mess it up. But for now, I think he's an alright character. Don Cheadle's alright in the role, but I think Terrence Young was the better one, to be honest. So, especially as time has gone on, I realized that. But yeah, I still like this guy. Next one is going to be T'Challa. I want to put him in the awesome tier, but I just kind of, and it's not the actor's fault, the MCU's fault, but unfortunately he passed away, so they couldn't really finish out his character. But for what it is, what we got, I think Chadwick Boseman's great in the role, especially in Civil War and Infinity War, so I just wish he got more to do, and it's unfortunate that he passed away. Well, very unfortunate. Next one is going to be Maya Lopez or Echo. I guess the meh tier is fine for her. I mean, she's alright, I guess. She fits her purpose on Hawkeye, but not much more than that. But I'm interested to see where her show goes, and maybe you can improve Kingpin as well. Next one are the Moon Knights. Because Oscar Isaac is great in the role, I'm going to put them both in the okay tier. Both Steven and Mark, I think, are both really cool characters. Mark is this sort of veteran, I guess, or something like that, or this hitman, or I don't know exactly what his presence is, but this character that was kind of deeply broken at heart and kind of needed this. And then you have Steven, who's this fun, lighthearted character that was just kind of thrown into this adventure. So, great. Both of them are great. I think both of them are Oscar Isaac plays both of them. I just think I just didn't really care for the show that much. Next one is going to be Yondu. Going to go right in the awesome tier. I absolutely love Yondu. And I love what they did with him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And just because of that, that could put him in the awesome tier. You know, I'll just throw Thor in the awesome tier and just forget about Love and Thunder. So yeah, as I said, Yondu, I love his arc where he realizes how wrong he was, how bad he was to Star-Lord, and really needing to change that, and pretty much, risking his life to save this kid. So, love this guy. Now we have Haley Steinfeld as, Kate Bishop. I think this is a perfectly alright character. I'll put her in the good tier. They haven't done anything wrong with this character yet. The only issue is really that they really turned her show, Hawkeye show, into really the Kate Bishop show, and that's a little frustrating, but, I guess it's fine. So, but overall, good character. Yeah, I'm changing some stuff. I don't want all the best characters to show up there first. But yeah. So, I think good character. Next one is going to be Sylvie. I'm going to put her in the okay tier. I mean, she's fine. And Loki, I think she works as the variant of Loki, but I wish they did a little bit more with her, and the show kind of turned into a Sylvie show instead of a Loki show, which is a little annoying, but, I think perfectly good character. Now we have Wasp. I'm gonna put her in the okay tier. I hope they give her a lot more to do and give her a bit more personality in Ant-Man 3 and in the Wasp Quantumania. But for now, she's okay. Next up is gonna be the Watcher. I think very interesting character. I mean, they have not much personality there, but Jeffrey Wright does do the voice acting actually really well. And I think this character himself is actually very interesting, and it makes you think a bit more about what this universe has to offer and how he's just kind of presented there in What If, kind of showing us through our tour guide sort of throughout the multiverse. And yeah, I like that. Melina, another character I think she's okay in Black Widow. I mean, there's a lot of these heroes that are just gonna go around the okay tier probably. So I think I like what they did with her in Black Widow, but the only real problem is that they haven't given her much of a personality yet. But I like her presence there. Next one's gonna be Monica Rambeau. I'm gonna put her in the okay tier. I do quite like this character, and overall, yeah, I think she's all right, but I think they'll give her a lot more to do in the Marvels. But for now, I mean, I like what they do with her in WandaVision, but some of that later stuff I just didn't care for. So yeah. Shuri, gonna go around the grades here. I loved her arc in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The only real issue is I just think she was a bit of a too much of a comedic presence in Black Panther, and then she's in depression mode. So we haven't seen this character at sort of her full potentials, and I'm excited to see. Khonshu from Moon Knight, as cool as he looks, he's kind of bad. I'm not gonna put him in the trash tier because he looks cool, but yeah, that's about it. Rocket, gonna go right in the awesome tier. One of my favorite characters from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and just such a kind of fun little presence to kind of just have there because like he is sort of this character that kind of felt broken because of what happened to him, and then found his family and really changed from it. And overall, I like that. I like what they did with him in Endgame, where he's having interactions with all the other Avengers. But yeah, I like this guy. We have MJ going to go around the good tier. I think Zendaya is one of the better MJs. Well, she's probably, of the two live action ones, she's definitely the better one between her and Kristen Dunst, which I got tired of her easily. So yeah, what's it called? Win something. Zendaya easily wins. So yeah, good character, fun when she needs to be, serious when she needs to be. Good, I guess good. Maybe they'll do something with her in Coming Home or whatever the other Spider-Man 4 is going to be called, but whatever. Next one's going to be Captain Marvel. I've never really cared for this character right from the beginning. I mean, the problem is that she's feisty, she's cocky, and kind of condescending, so not much more than that. But maybe they'll give her more of a personality in, in the Marvels. But she hasn't really had much of a character arc yet, and losing amnesia is not really a character arc, so yeah. Athena, going to go around the okay tier, another one of these Eternals. Definitely one of the better ones. I think Angelina Jolie's pretty good in the role, but a lot of these characters are not going to be very high on this tier list, so this is no exception. Talos, played by Ben Mendelsohn. I think he's okay. They haven't given this character a lot to do. I think he's definitely one of the better parts of Captain Marvel. And overall, I like this character whenever he's there, but there's not much there yet. So yeah, Druig, I think he's just not good. Never mind. So I think the problem with Druig is that they had this interesting power where he could control people and stop the war, but they never really did anything with that, which in general is just kind of frustrating. So just a waste of potential. Phasma is going to go in the meh tier, and overall, I mean, whatever, but like, kind of just like, he's just kind of there. I mean, doesn't really do much. They could have had something interesting where he created something with like World War II times, but they don't do anything with that, so it turns into him just being a frustrating character. Scourge, I have this guy fun, but I like his little arc, but he's not really given that much to do through Ragnarok. He's just like the first person to Hela at one point, and then turns into a hero in the end. I was doing order to include him, I was like, why not? So yeah, meh tier. Then the twins, I'm gonna put them both in the meh tier. They serve their purpose in WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness to try to turn Wanda back or make everything worse, and there you go. Kraglin going to go in the okay tier. Another one of these fun little Guardians of the Galaxy characters. And I like what they do with him in the holiday special, but not much more than that. America Chavez. I like her powers, and that alone I think puts her in at least the okay tier. And I like the character herself. I mean, she's fine, I guess, but not much really to do. So yeah, I like this character, but again, not really much there. Next one's gonna be Korg. Because of Love and Thunder, I'm putting him in the meh here. He's fun. He's really entertaining. But the problem is they just went too far at the comedy with this character and literally had the part where he got his head cut off and then he's still cracking jokes and messing things up for our heroes. So, yeah. Overall, this character, he's kind of frustrating, but they just went too far in Love and Thunder. Next up is Vision. Another one he's going to go... I'm going to put the Vision the goods here. I wish they gave Vision a bit more to do in between Age of Ultron and Infinity War, but... For what it is, I think he worked. I like his presence in the MCU, but I wish they just gave him a bit more to do. So, again, I like his... Again, I think Paul Bettany's great in the role as he turns into Vision from Jarvis, and the character looks really cool. The effects look great, but I just wish they killed him off too soon. Next thing's Tappy. I think a very fun little character to throw in there. Kind of a comedic relief, but yeah, he just gets better, especially as he becomes kind of like Spider-Man's mentor throughout Far From Home and No Way Home. And I think the way this character is utilized in the MCU as like Toby's guard or second in command, and he just kind of gets more utilized as time goes on. So, and I think Jon Favreau's kind of fun in this role, so I like him. Mobius from Loki, because of like Owen Wilson, that alone kind of puts him in the good tier, and yeah, pretty simple. I like him in this little role here, and I like his presence in Loki as he realizes that the TVA is not good and realizes the mistakes he's made and what he wants to do. In the part where he got zapped or whatever in the end of the fourth episode, I was like, you actually kind of felt some sort of emotion there, and I thought that worked. I think this character's great. Owen Wilson's great in the role, and yeah. Next one's going to be Drax, another fun one from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I quite like this guy. And they gave him a lot to do throughout the first Guardians of the Galaxy. In the second one, I think they went a little bit too far and didn't give them that much to do in Infinity War. But I like what he did in the holiday special. Dave Bautista's fun in this role as always. And overall, just a fun character to kind of throw in there. And now that he's kind of off of the Thanos thing, I think they'll give him a bit more to do in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so I'm excited. Ancient One, not much personality there, but I mean, she does help Doctor Strange, so I guess just them back tier. She's whatever. I can take her or leave her, but not much more on that. Now we have all the Warriors 3. I mean, they're fun enough characters, but I think they're going to go in the Mac tier because they gave them just such horrible deaths. The Warriors 3 and Lady Sif. So, and Lady Sif got a little more in Love and Thunder, but yeah. I guess the best one of all of these, I guess, is this guy because he got the weakest. Sure. Sif is the least interesting, so yeah. Overall, none of these characters really stand out, but they're fine in their own right. Quicksilver. Because they killed him off too soon, I can't put him any higher. It's just like, come on. They had this interesting character, another like speedster or whatever, sort of, so why'd they kill him off? It's just frustrating. They could have done so much with this character, and I mean, I understand why they kill him off to one sense, but come on. Now we have Makari, Matt here, another one of these Eternals characters that I just don't care about whatsoever. She's probably one of the better ones because she doesn't really do anything that really annoys me, but she doesn't really do anything that really makes me happy, so yeah. Not much else to say about any of these Eternals characters. I'll just find all of them and throw them whatever the tier name makes sense. Sprite going the bad tier. I just don't like her. I just think as this kind of whiny hormonal teenager, just as adult that's in this teenager body, just brings out some themes that I just don't want to see or anything. Ajak. I don't really care about this character and one bit, and they just kind of ruined it. The actress I think could have done a good job because I know this actress is pretty good, but they kind of messed some things up. Chris, I forgot to grab some of these characters from the villains because some of them I kind of put in heroes and villains. So yeah, hold on, I'll just grab some of those fast. Hawkeye, Wanda, Icarus, and Loki. Icarus, I'll just put right. Icarus, I'm going to put him in the okay tier. I think he's definitely one of the better ones. He has a very interesting little arc there, but I don't know. I feel like they could have just done some things a little bit better. And then, are there any more that I'm missing? I forgot to do this earlier. It doesn't look like it's... Oh, Bucky. There's one. And then, anything else? I'm looking through all of this. And, John Walker. And that's about it. Yeah, that's it. So, next one's going to be Peggy Carter. Going to go right in the good tier. I like her, even though she wasn't really used that much in Captain America: The First Avenger. I like what they did with her throughout the rest of the MCU. So, yeah, I think she's a pretty good character, and I just rewatched Captain America: The First Avenger, so the actress does a good job, and yeah. Even though she's not really in the MCU that much, but she's always mentioned or used quite a bit in the MCU, sort of. Yeah. Next one's going to be Hank Pym going around the great tier. I loved Michael Douglas in this role, so that alone just puts him in the great tier. I mean, he brings some sort of familiarity and kind of seriousness into the story and some sort of, I guess, gravitas. I don't know what the word would be, but yeah, I quite like this guy. Next one's going to be Miss Marvel. The actress does a good job, and I'm going to put her in the good tier. Maybe they'll give her more to do in Marvel's movies, so yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the show. I didn't really talk about it yet, but I just watched it, and honestly, I had a fun time with it. I think it gets a little bit, it got a little bit of hate, but overall, I think it's one of the better shows. Ned Leeds going to go right in the good tier as sort of Peter's best friend. He works in that role, and he's fun. Next one's gonna be next one's gonna be what's it called? Pepper Potts, and she's going right in the good tier. As sort of Tony's sort of person that he's the person or she's the person he kind of needs in his life to sort of calm him down whenever, or not like a therapist way, but you know what I mean. But like to sort of keep him in control, and she needs him, and it makes for like a perfect little duo there. Groot, original Groot would go right in the good tier. Baby Groot the meh tier. Because I don't like his look that they gave him the holiday special in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailers. And he's just too teenager like, and he's just like, come on, what are they doing here? But if it was the original Groot, I would put him in the good tier. But because this is Baby Groot, yeah. Meh. Bucky, gonna go another one going right in the good tier. And you know what? I'll throw him in the great tier. I love what they've done with this character, where he's kind of had the whole thing where he was controlled by Hydra, and then now he's going back to real life, and sort of showed him in Falcon Winter Soldier that sort of process. But I wish they did a little bit more. Next one's gonna be Luis from Ant-Man, because Michael Penion's so fun in this role, and he tells some amazing stories. Going right in the good tier. Yeah, I love this guy. Nebula. I think she's alright. I think she's going okay tier. The actress Karen Gillian doesn't really bring that much to the role, but I like what they kind of done with this character as sort of a villain at first, but then turned into, I guess, a hero and when he got to Infinity War and Endgame. So there you go. Now you have Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's sort of turned into a hero in WandaVision, so I decided to include him. You know, I love his little arc with the card throwing. That's just fun. And overall, I think he's a pretty fun character because, like, I mean, he's given a lot to do in the first in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Maybe they'll throw him in there in Quantumania. I don't know, but yeah, I guess I like this guy. Battlestar from Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah, he's going right in the trash tier. I don't care about this character whatsoever. He's just another one of the. He's just the first man to John Walker. And speak of John Walker, I'll throw John Walker in the good tier. I like what they've done with him in Falcon Winter Soldier. I think he's one of the better characters there as this sort of soldier that's won all these medals, and but he doesn't really know what to do with his life. And yeah, I like this guy. Next one. Oh, King Guard, completely forgot about him. Mech tier. I mean, the problem with this one is that he literally like just leaves for the finale, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's like it's as if Kumail Nanjiani just didn't have time to shoot, so they were like, whatever, let's just not include him in the finale. So, whatever. I can just take or leave this character. We have the Queen. I would have put her in the okay tier, but because Angela Bassett's performance in what's it called, Wakanda Forever, I'm going to put her up in the good tier, because I think this character has given a lot more to do in the way she has to handle her son's loss and all of that. Just very interesting and well done. Next one's going to be Captain America. You know where he's going. Going right in the S tier. Just a fantastic character right from the beginning. I love his arc in First Avenger, and they've just given him a lot to do since. And overall, just such a well-handled character where they have his whole sort of history kind of play out, and then he wakes up 70 years later in the ice, and then has to fight with the Avengers, and then realize how the government hasn't really changed much, and how sort of not everyone's good there, and sort of kind of loses sort of naiveness about the universe and thoughts, and especially as you get to Civil War, you just see it. So he's just such a complete character, and they've done a lot with him, and he's definitely been one of the best ones. Odin. I'll throw Frigga there as well. Odin, I think, is going to go in the good tier. Frigga's going to go in the meh tier. I mean, Odin, I think, is good. I like how he sort of sets up Thor's arc throughout both Thor the Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, even somewhat Infinity War. But at the same time, he's not really given that much to do other than that. He's just kind of the grumpy old king that's kind of there. Anthony Hopkins is good in the role, but, you know, not much. Frigga is in the meh tier because, well, they haven't really given her much to do. She's just kind of there in the first Thor, and then she gets killed off in the Dark World. But, like, Renee Russo's, I guess, is good in the role, but it's nice to see her in the movie here. But, yeah, not really much there. Spider-Man, you know where he's going, right in the Goda tier. I think he's definitely become one of the best heroes. And right from the beginning, Tom Holland's just great in this role, and he's got a hell of a career ahead of him. And overall, just, I think, a fun character in and of itself. But the only real issue is that I don't think his arc is fully complete, and No Way Home kind of just set it up pretty much more than anything. So he's not a complete character, which I think kind of keeps him from being maybe even the number one spot. But for now, I love this version of Spider-Man, and I also don't love the fact that he has gadgets in Homecoming, but I can get past that pretty easily, but whatever. Valkyrie, gonna go right in the good tier, maybe in the great tier, I don't know. Probably, I'll leave her at the good tier. I really like this character. Just I think very well done, and I like her usage in both Ragnarok and in Love and Thunder. I think she's definitely one of the better parts of Love and Thunder. She acts just the same as usual. So, as the kind of the leader of New Asgard, you sort of see her get utilized then see what she has to do, and then Thor's just doing his own thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. So yeah, as much as I didn't really care for Love and Thunder, I think she's definitely one of the better parts of it. I like her little arc in Thor Ragnarok, so I think good character. Tessa Thompson is good in the role. Next one's gonna be Shang-Chi. I think he's gonna go right in the great tier. I like this guy right from the beginning. Wish they gave him a bit more of a personality, but I love the arc he went on, where he realizes, where he sees his father once again after a while, and then kind of had to get put through the situation where he has to save his aunt or whatever, and go to the whole tallow place or whatever. So yeah, I quite like this character. Next one is gonna be Okoye, another really good one. I think she's gonna go on the good tier. I like what they did with her in Wakanda Forever, where she gets demoted and then has to kind of figure out what to do next. And don't love the whole like Iron Man suit thing that they put her through at the end, but whatever. Fun character. I like this character. Yeah. Next one's gonna be Red Guardian from Black Widow. Because David Harbour's so fun in the role, he's gonna go right in the great tier. As another one of these like super soldier Captain America characters, he's just so fun because how stupid he is and realizing that he's a complete idiot. So because of that, I just have fun with this character, and I like Stranger Things, so David Harbour's great. Next one, I'm tired. It's going to be Star-Lord, going to go right in the great tier. I love the arcs that they give him in these movies. They give it a lot to do between the first Guardians of the Galaxy and the holiday special. And even though I don't love what they did with him in Volume 2 and Infinity War, where they just make him kind of unlikable, and at least in Infinity War, but still, I like this character quite a bit. Next one is going to be Falcon, or Sam Wilson. I think very sort of well done character in Falcon Winter Soldier. He's definitely one of the better parts of it, and I like his arc. So gonna go around the great tier. If without that, I think he would have been probably in the okay tier because he's just kind of known as sidekick to Captain America. But once he goes on of his own, I think he becomes a better character, and I think his sort of buddy copness with Bucky works. So I like this guy. Next one. M'Baku from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Infinity War, because he's just so fun when he needs to be and without being like a full-on comedic relief. I think it's going to go on the good too. They gave him a lot more screen time in Wakanda Forever, and I like that, and I had fun with this character, so there you go. Next one is going to be Heimdall from the Thor films. I don't think he's a good character because he's a very interesting character, and I've said character too many times in this video, so yeah, because of that, I think that alone puts him in the good tier. I think Idris Elba, it's kind of fun to see him in the MCU, and I think he does a great job here. Not one of his best roles out there, but still, it's a fun one, I guess. So, again, I like this guy. I'm so tired. Now Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, whatever. Cliff Barton. I think he's going to go in the great tier. I like what they did with him. Did I put him in the great tier? Yeah, I did. I like what they do with him in his show. I think he's fun when he needs to be. They gave him a lot more depth since Age of Ultron, and the main part, he took what Thanos did and made it personal, and then started killing people. Which I have my issues with that, but whatever. I also put him in the villain tier list, sort of. I mean, debatable whether I should have included him, but why not? So yeah, I do really like this character. I think, as I said, Jeremy Renner is pretty good in the role. He's fun when he has to be. And of all the 6 Avengers, I think he was kind of the worst one for a while, but as the time has gone on, I think he's become one of the better ones. And really improved by Endgame. Next one is going to be Wanda. Another one going right in the awesome tier. I think she was very well handled right from the beginning in Age of Ultron, where she was kind of suffering through what had happened, and then she loses Quicksilver, and then that happens, and then she's just throughout depression, and then everything gets better, and then Infinity War happens, and then she loses Vision. So she's just so broken at heart, and she's not really a hero, but as a hero and a villain, she works very well. Next one, I think this is the last one. Loki, you know where he's going. He's going right in the Goto tier. I love this guy right from the beginning. He's always been one of my favorite characters of the MCU, and they've really kind of turned him into an anti-hero where he's like sort of on the fence a lot of times, and he's fun in both like Dark World and Ragnarok, and then when you get to his show, you see really like how his sort of mind is sort of warped and everything, and how it's like working out. And I think he's become a main player in the MCU, and really one of the better parts of it. So I'm done talking. So let's rank them all. I think in last place is probably going to be Sprite, then probably Battlestar, then Khonshu, and then Druig, and then Ajax, and then Druig's probably the top, I guess. Then I think the worst, then Cersei, Quicksilver, Captain Marvel, meh tier. I think the twins are the twin. Yeah, I think the twins are probably the lowest, I guess. Um, then let's say like Scourge, and then Kingo is just kind of frustrating what they kind of did. Then Milo, then Echo, then Groot's probably at the top of this, and then Korg probably, and then Ancient One, then the Warriors. I'll accept. Yeah, I'll accept this. I'm good with this. Then the OK tier, I think the lowest. Just because of what they did with him in She-Hulk and showed that he was kind of I'm just gonna put him in the bottom of the OK tier. But in the end, he's a fantastic character. Just know that. So then probably America Chavez. Not that interesting, but I think she's alright. And then probably Melina. No, then Jimmy Woo probably. Then Sylvie. Then probably Melina. Or Melina. Nebula's way higher than that. Icarus is probably next. Then Kraglin. I don't know, I'm kind of making something's going. Then Monaco Rambo. Oh, wait, Phil Coulson is probably going to go right here. Or right here. Yeah, or right here. There you go. Yeah, a lot of that happened. So, Monica, Talos, Thena. Then probably the Watcher. Then probably Mantis. Yeah. I'm good, yeah. Then Jane Foster. Then Nebula or then the Moon Knights. Then Nebula, then Gilgamesh probably one of the better or Gilgamesh over here. Nebula, and then Wasp, Nakia. Yeah, I'm good there. I'll accept that. I'm so tired of talking. At the bottom, I love the guy, but Ned probably. Then probably Wong. Then probably Miss Marvel. Yeah. Then Luis. As fun as Michael Pena is, it's not like this amazing character or anything. Then probably Odin. Probably the Queen is probably next. Then Vision. Or no, Vision. Yeah, I'll put Vision here. Vision. Then Pepper. Not always. She's kind of unlikable sometimes. And then I think right above that is probably going to be Bach. I like Baka more than Hamdel, probably. And then Peggy is probably next. I think that's fine. Or no. There we go. Then Heimdall, Baku. Okoye, I think is probably higher. John Walker, I think, is on the higher end of this tier. Mobius is, I think, there. Happy. I'm surprised Drax is the highest. I guess MJ. Then Aunt May. There you go. The good tier is probably the hardest one to rank because all these characters are like tied. And then the great tier, things that get a little bit easier here from here. Hank Pym's probably the bottom. I like the character himself, but come on. Then probably Shuri. Either Shuri or T'Challa. Sure, I put T'Challa like right above her. Then probably Red Guardian. Then Hawkeye. Then right above that is probably Gamora. Then Star-Lord. Or Star-Lord probably right here. T'Challa, I don't want to put him this low, but it's kind of unfortunate. You know what? Screw it. Shang-Chi. I don't know what to think. How would I do with Bucky? I guess Yelena's probably the highest, then Nick Fury probably. What do I do with Sam and Bucky? I think Sam can go right here. Sam can go right here. And Bucky, I think, might be good where he is. Then probably the Austin tier. This is where it gets a little bit harder. I think Yondu might be the lowest. Then Thor. He's just written so inconsistently, but I want to put him in this tier. Then Rocket, and then Wanda. Then Strange. And then, yeah. And then the top tier, number 4, we got Loki. Number 3, yeah, this is really high ranking. So that is my tier list. That concludes it for today. We have two more videos coming this year. After this, we have MCU shows ranked and the best movies of the year, and then I'll do my most excited movies for next year when I get back. So I'm exhausted. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and see you guys next time. Adios.